9 minutes before 8 is the time. What are the jewels in the crown of this great country? Well, undoubtedly, some of it is our military, and we'll have more of our exclusive in-depth interview with Ben Wallace in a moment. What are the other jewels? Well, we've got the monarchy, we've got the NHS, and come on, we've got sport, and in sport we've got football, and in football we've got the English Premier League, which, don't let anyone kid you, is probably the best football or soccer you will see played anywhere in the world. So when the idea of some kind of shake-up or regulation comes along, it's big news, and it is reported it will take a new direction, the government confirming plans for an independent regulator of the game. Should the many fans be concerned? Well, let's turn to Conservative MP and Sport Minister Stuart Andrew, who joins me now. There are many, many millions of football fans, and there's quite a few people listening to this programme. How concerned should they be, Minister? Good morning.
Good morning to you. They shouldn't be concerned because this is absolutely at the request of fans, if you like, because they invest so much of their passion and their time in supporting their clubs, but too often they see the heartache of seeing their clubs go through real trials and tribulations. You know, one of my first jobs as sports minister was to meet with fans groups, and I was really struck with Blackpool, for example, where fans ended up having to boycott their own club for 5 years because of the way it was being run. That's just not acceptable. And, you know, we had hoped that football would come up with the solutions itself. It hasn't done. And so as a result, we had the fan-led review. We've taken a lot of notice of that. We've gone through this with a fine-tooth comb. And we've decided that, you know, we need to set up an independent regulator to ensure that there is stability within the game.
What exactly powers will he, she or they have, and how sharp will their teeth be?
So the key primary objectives, if you like, for the regulator will be to ensure that the clubs are stable, that they are financially stable, that they have the resources they need to run the club effectively, and that they're there for the future fans to enjoy. Also, their job will be to ensure that there is stability within the football pyramid, but also that clubs have to prove that they're properly engaging with their fans and that the fans are having a good say over their clubs.
What measures can they take? Do they have forms of censure? I mean, presumably they then have access to the books, I imagine, of a football club. So let's just pick one. Let's not offend anybody. Nick Ferrari Athletic, what a thought. What a thought, I know. But I'm not behaving in a fine... There's no need to laugh that much, Minister. I'm behaving in a bad way. What measures can they take against my club?
So, first of all, we would know who you were, and that's an important element. You know, we need to know who is actually owning these clubs, and then you would be subject to a fit and proper persons test to make sure that you are, you know, you're a person of good character, if you like, and that you have a good character to bring to that club, but also that you have the finances that will enable that club to survive what may come down the line, you know, a financial shock or pressures, and so that there is stability within that club, but also to ensure that you have the best interests of the fans at heart and that you are going to properly engage with them.
And if there was someone bidding for a club who was of a dubious background, would the regulator have the power to say, to recommend to government, we really don't think these people, this organisation should be buying this club?
So they wouldn't actually be recommending to government because they will have the powers themselves to act.
To block a sale.
To block if they feel that the individual, is, say, from a criminal background, for example, they will then not get a licence for that club to play football in England. And so that the reality here is what we're trying to do is ensure that we put the whole of the football pyramid on a stable footing, and ensure that those clubs are run by people who have as much interest in the well-being and the good fortune of that club as their fans do. That's really important to us.
Well, I just wonder how that balances then against, you'll be aware, I'm sure, Manchester United is on the block, and one of the leading bidders is the Qatari Islamic Bank. Now, you commend you. You attended the Wales v England game in the recent World Cup, and you wore the One Love pro-LGBT armband. Credit to you. How concerned would you be if the QIB bought Man U?
So, look, it's not right for me at the moment to go through individual live cases, as it were. What we are doing is ensuring that there is a mechanism in place now that will test that those people that are applying to buy a club are of good, that they pass that fit and proper persons test, that they have the money to invest that will secure the future of that club. And so it's basically about the individual rather than where they come from.
Right. So you would be relaxed about a Qatari bank owning Manchester United?
So it wouldn't be up for me to make that decision. I think that's
but
really
would you,
important point.
might I ask you, as personally, how relaxed or otherwise might you be?
So my view is that, as you alluded to right at the beginning of this, the success of the Premier League, it is the league that people from around the world follow. And a lot of that is because we have our investment not just from this country, but from others. The important point here is that the individuals that are going to own that club will be known, and that we will know what their background is. We will know who their character is, and we will know where their finances come from, and that's the important thing.
Out of interest, are you a football bloke yourself, or rugby, or cricket, or do you have a team you follow?
So I think my sort of sports following is through my friends more than anything,
right.
And
Okay.
they're big Leeds United fans, so I've been following their journey over the last couple of years.
Yes, it's not headed in the right
highs
direction
and
at the
lows.
moment, as your friends have probably told you. Last couple of questions. You are, of course, the government's Equalities Minister. How concerned are you that potentially the leader of one of the United Kingdom's major political parties could be a woman who doesn't believe in same-sex marriage, indeed doesn't believe in sex outside of marriage? I speak of Kate Forbes in Scotland. Minister.
Well, look, my view is that the leadership election for the Scottish National Party is for them to decide on. It's for their members to decide who they want to elect as leader. I was very proud to vote for equal marriage in this Parliament. But whoever becomes successful as the new leader of the Scottish National Party, we will ensure that we will work with them, because actually our interest is to make sure that we work together for the benefit of the whole of the United Kingdom.
Final question, Minister. Will you be sending me an invoice for these questions? I ask because I understand you're holding an online question and answer this evening, but you can only participate if you, quote, chip in with a donation of up to £500 to the Conservative Party to take part. A, am I getting an invoice? B, is that wholly appropriate to ask football fans to pay up to £500 to ask you a question? Minister?
So, no, listen, I'm literally answering questions all day today on this.
I know.
Not charging anybody. This is a party fundraiser. It's no different to me going to speak to one of my colleagues' association as the sports minister to raise some money for a local party. That is not an issue. It's what politicians have been doing across parties for many years.
All right, no invoice for me then. Good speaking with you. Enjoyed our time. Thank you. Stuart Andrew, Sport Minister, appearing here on LBC, where we will be coming back to more of our at-length interview with Defence Secretary Ben Wallace. And also we'll take to the shops, a lot of you, stories coming in about problems getting all sorts of goods from cucumbers to raspberries. 8 o'clock news on LBC is next.